A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English because it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to A+ English. I'm Pat.
I'm Kathy.
And we're now on day 2 of our story article for this month, Ernest Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea. Yesterday we met Santiago, a fisherman with bad luck. 84 days and he hasn't caught a single fish. However, he doesn't let it get him down.
So Pat, what makes you feel sad?
Well, I thought about this question before, and something that came up like really last week. One thing that always makes me sad is when I get towards the end of a book I'm really enjoying.
Really?
Yeah. And it's not when I finish it. It's not when I'm finished the book and it's like, wow, that was a cool book. It's when I'm holding it and I know there's only like a few chapters left. Or I'm using my Kindle and it says you're at like 93%, which means there's only a little bit left. If I've really enjoyed the book, I do not want it to end.
Wow.
So I get this kind of down feeling like, oh, as much as I've enjoyed this and as much as I want to finish it, I want it to keep going. I don't want to finish reading this book because I'm enjoying it so much. So I always kind of get sad when I'm getting towards the end of a book, even if I'm actually really enjoying reading it.
That's very special.
Yeah, how about you?
Well, a lot of things will make me sad or depressed. For example, if my parents or kids get sick, if people who I love and care passes away, or if I did a performance but I didn't perform well, these will all make me feel sad.
Okay, well, we found out that Santiago isn't sad. He thinks his luck will turn around. Will it? Let's read through day 2 and find out.
The Old Man and the Sea. Warm-up question. What makes you feel sad?
On the 85th day, Santiago heads out to sea alone. He sails his boat far out into the ocean. He drops his fishing line deep in the water and waits. At noon, Santiago feels a strong pull on his fishing rod. He tries to bring the fish in, but he can't move it. The fish is very powerful, and it starts pulling his boat. He thinks to himself,
"This must be the biggest marlin in the sea."
Santiago can't tie the fish to his boat because it will break. So he uses every muscle in his body to bring it in.
Word power!
Alone. Alone. I don't like going out alone at night. I don't feel safe. I don't like going out alone at night. I don't feel safe. Sail. Sail. Many people sail their boats from England to France for a vacation. Many people sail their boats from England to France for a vacation. Deep. Deep. Terry jumped deep into the swimming pool and touched the bottom. Terry jumped deep into the swimming pool and touched the bottom. Tie. Tie. You should tie your shoes, or you might fall over and hurt yourself. You should tie your shoes, or you might fall over and hurt yourself.
认识字汇
Rod. Powerful. Marlin. muscle.
So our story starts by saying, and remember, Santiago has caught no fish in 84 days. The article says on the 85th day, Santiago heads out to sea alone. To head out means to leave your home or wherever you are and go somewhere else. So we could say, let's head out to the restaurant around 7 p.m.
在 Day 1 的时候，我们有提到说，圣地亚哥已经84天没有钓到鱼了。今天文章开头就说，第85天，圣地亚哥独自一人往海上出发。我们先进 Magic Box， 请讲师讲解一下吧。
Magic Box 找亮点。
各位同学，大家好，又到了每周星座的时间喽。我就是星座专家唐奇阳。真的呢，不是我想吹牛啊，但是呢，台湾这个占星界啊，被称为国师的我呢，真心呢是第一把交椅啦。别的不说呢，光是呢我开始钻研这个占星术的时间呢，就已经呢有够久喽。My first book came out in 1998. My first book came out in 1998. 我的第一部星座书呢，在1998年推出。转眼呢已经过了20年了。今天呢，我呢不止这个出书电视也会呢从这个脸书呢 YouTube 上面呢继续的来指引大家喽。刚刚句子里面呢，我们看到 first 就是表示第一的意思，我的第一本书。OK， 你可能知道呢，英文里面呢说数字呢，我们可能会说 1, 2, 3，这些呢我们叫做基数但是呢，英文里面呢可是有所谓序数的用法呢。序数呢就是有顺序的，第一、第二、第三。它的长相呢，也和这个我们刚刚讲的基数这个数字呢不大相同了。我们今天呢就要来介绍一下这个有顺序的序数。第一呢，我们就会说 first，OK。第二呢，我们就说 second。第三呢，我们就说 third。那第四开始呢，就不用担心了，它就跟这个我们的数字越来越像了。从第四开始呢，我们就说 fourth。第五 fifth。第六 sixth。第七 seventh。第八 eighth。第九 ninth。第10 tenth。有没有注意到呢？我们这些序数都是 th 结尾的所以呢，以后呢看到这个数字后面有这个 th 结尾，那它呢大概就是我们序数的用法喽。那么序数什么时候会用到呢？既然呢我们说有第一有第二，那当然呢就是在表示顺序的时候就可以使用序数了。例如呢我刚刚说的我的第一本书，因为接下来呢就有我的第二本、第三本我们有先后顺序，所以呢我们就说这个 first。那呢我们可以再举一个例子 ，This is my third time on Magic Box. This is my third time.On Magic Box， 这个是呢我第3次在 Magic Box 和你见面。除了这个我们刚刚讲第一次、第二次第一本、第二本之外呢，事情的发生呢也有顺序。例如呢，每次直播开始，我要做的第一件事情呢，就是呢跟我亲爱的粉丝们打招呼。The first thing I have to do is greet all my lovely fans. The first thing.I have to do is greet all my lovely fans. 注意到呢，当我们有表示这个第一、第二有顺序的时候呢，因为呢是有特别指出这个第一个、第二个，所以呢在这种情况下呢，我们一定要指定，我们一定呢要加上 the the 或者是呢所有格。例如呢，我们刚刚说 the first thing 第一件事情，或是呢 my first time 我的第一次，这个时候呢是绝对不能省略的咯。最后呢，我们再复习一次这个我们的所有叙述了。第一呢，我们就说 first， 第二 second， 第三 third， 第四开始呢就跟这个数字很像了 fourth， 第五 fifth， 第六 sixth， 第七 seventh， 第八 eighth， 第九 ninth， 第10 tenth。很简单咯，赶快学起来，我们下次见，拜拜。
Head out 就是出发启程，这个字同学可以用动作跟情境去想一下，你的头往外出去 head out 这样子的一个意思，就可以很容易把它片语记起来了。We also say that Santiago heads out alone.
That's right. The word alone, A-L-O-N-E, alone, is an adverb, and it's also the first of today's word power words. Let's check it out. So if you are alone, you don't have anyone with you. we're using it as an adverb, so we're modifying it as a verb. You do something alone. You go out alone. You walk alone. As long as you're modifying a verb, it's an adverb in this sentence. Another way of saying alone is by yourself or on your own. I'm doing something alone, I'm doing something by myself, I'm doing something on my own. They all mean the same thing, just you. Here's an example sentence. I don't like going out alone at night. I don't feel safe. I don't like going out alone at night. I don't feel safe.
我们来看今天第一个单字哦 ，alone 这个副词就是单独的、独自的。在这里呢，照另外一个句子让同学们加深印象。For years, Mary lived alone in New York. 玛丽孤身一人在纽约生活了好几年。和这个字有关，而且长得也有一点像的，大家有没有印象是什么字呢？没错，就是 lonely。例如 when his wife died, he was very lonely. 他的太太过世之后呢，他非常的孤独。那课文的例句说，我不喜欢晚上独自外出，我觉得不安全。文章这里说，圣地亚哥独自往海上出发 ，heads out to sea alone.
So let's get back to the story. It says, he sails his boat far out into the ocean. We have another word power word here. It's the verb sail, S-A-I-L, sail. Let's find out what it means and how to use it. So, a sail as a noun is a large piece of material, usually a heavy cloth called canvas, which catches the wind and uses that to push a boat or a ship. Now, if you are sailing, so to use it as a verb, you're using a sail to move your boat somewhere, something like that. You go out to sea, you get the wind behind you, and your boat is pushed along. Here's an example sentence. Many people sail their boats from England to France for a vacation. Many people sail their boats from England to France for a vacation.
Sail 是指驾驶，特别用在船只上面。像开车，我们就是用 drive； 骑机车或是脚踏车，我们用 ride。课文的例句说呢，许多人会从英国驾驶他们的船到法国去度假。文章提到圣地亚哥呢，独自一人出海了，他把船开到远方的海洋中。So what happens out there in the ocean?
The story says that he drops his fishing line deep in the water and waits. We have yet another word power word to look at in this sentence. It's the word deep, D-E-E-P, deep, and we're using it as an adverb in this sentence. Let's take a look at this one. So we often use deep as an adjective and use it to describe areas of water. So a deep swimming pool, a deep river. Basically, the bottom is a long way down from the surface. We could also talk about a deep hole, where there's a long distance down again. In our sentence, in the article, we're using deep as an adverb, so it's modifying a verb. You dive deep into the water, you swim deep down under the water, something sinks down to the bottom of a river deep down, and so on. Here's an example. Terry jumped deep into the swimming pool and touched the bottom. Terry jumped deep into the swimming pool and touched the bottom.
这里的 deep 表示呢深处，像以下的句子都可以用 deep 这个字。Deep inside my heart, deep in the woods. 课文的例句说 ，Terry 跳进泳池的深处，然后触碰底部。文章接着描述这位老渔夫的动作，他把钓鱼线扔进海里面，深海里面哦，接着开始等待。I think Santiago is finally going to catch some fish.
Well, we see in the article that at noon, Santiago feels a strong pull on his fishing rod. So the rod is the long piece of wood or plastic or metal that you use in fishing. It has the line and the hook on one end, and the rod is the piece you hold on to.
这里我们看到开始有动静咯。中午的时候，圣地亚哥感受到他的钓竿受到一股强烈的拉扯 ，rod 就是竿或者是棍。
Next, we see that he tries to bring the fish in, but he can't move it. So he's trying to get this fish into his boat, but it's too strong.
他尝试把这个鱼拉上来哦，但是呢，无法拉动它。
The article continues, the fish is very powerful and it starts pulling his boat.
Oh my God.
So he's not pulling it in, it's pulling him out. If something is powerful, it is very strong. It has a lot of power, a lot of strength. So this fish is super strong.
文章说这只鱼非常强壮，并且开始呢拉它的船。Powerful 强壮的，强而有力的，是从 power 这个字衍生出来的。例如 he had broad shoulders and powerful arms. 他的肩膀呢宽大，双臂有力哦。So will he get the fish?
We see that he thinks to himself, this must be the biggest marlin in the sea. Here we've got a couple of grammar points to look at first. We start with must be. It must be the biggest fish. If something must be another thing, we're very sure that this is true. We don't have 100% proof, but we are really, really sure about it.
圣地亚哥这时候心里想，这一定是整个海洋中最大的一条枪鱼了。Marlin 就是旗鱼或是枪鱼。
So another grammar point in that last sentence is about using the superlative. Santiago thinks this is the biggest fish he's ever seen. For a superlative adjective, the first thing to remember is using the. It is always the biggest, the fastest, the strongest, and so on. We also have to modify the adjective. For shorter words, we usually add est, fastest, strongest, and so on. For longer verbs, we use the most, then the adjective, the most handsome, the most beautiful, and so on. There are some words which change in other slightly different ways, but that's the basics.
这里将 big 这个字用到最高级的用法。大家记得 Snow White 里面的坏皇后是怎么问魔镜的吗？ Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? 这里是用 the fairest 最美丽的，而在这边呢用 the biggest 最大的，没有任何其他的鱼比这只更大了。所以这里圣地亚哥觉得这条枪鱼将会是他看过最大的一条。In this case, we're talking about the biggest marlin.
A marlin is a kind of fish. They are large fish, they're powerful swimmers, and generally marlins often have these long noses like sharp sticks.
大家对枪鱼长什么样子有印象吗？很强壮的是呢，他们是游泳健将哦，特别是又长得像长鼻子的那个外形特征。So what did Santiago do?
We see in the article that Santiago can't tie the fish to his boat because it will break. We have another word power word here, and it's the verb tie, T-I-E, tie. Let's find out what this word means. To tie something means to attach one thing to another, usually with rope, string, wire, or something else long and thin like that. When we tie something, we generally make a knot, K-N-O-T, knot, to make it stay attached. When we use tie, we can also use it to make a knot in a single piece of string or rope or something like that to keep it in place. So think of tying your shoelaces on your feet or tying a knot in a necktie to make it look smart and stay around your neck. Here's an example sentence. You should tie your shoes or you might fall over and hurt yourself. You should tie your shoes or you might fall over and hurt yourself.
这里 tie 就是绑或者是系 tie 通常呢用在系鞋带上面哦 tie your shoelace。 那这里有另外一个字呢叫做 knot 就是结的意思，打结的那个结。课文例句说呢，你应该绑好你的鞋带，否则你可能会跌倒让自己受伤哦。哇，这边看到呢，课文当中提到，这真的是一条很大的鱼。文章告诉我们，圣地亚哥无法将这条鱼绑在他的船上，因为船可能会断掉。But the question is, will Santiago get the fish?
Yeah, or will the fish break his boat and he'll just be stuck in the water? Well, the second part of today's article finishes by saying, so he uses every muscle in his body to bring it in, meaning bring the fish into the boat, get it close, and so on. Now, he uses his muscles. Your muscles are the parts of your body that push and pull, or rather, actually just pull in different directions. Muscles create movement in your body, but they also give you strength. Santiago is using all his muscles, the ones in his arms, his hands, chest, legs, shoulders, everything to fight to keep this fish attached to his rod and still coming toward the boat.
文章最后告诉我们，他用尽全身每一条肌肉来把这条鱼拉上来。Muscle 是名词，就是指肌肉。如果你要形容一个人很健壮，你可以说 muscular 这个单字哦。A muscular man， 一个肌肉发达的男子。
However, we won't find out whether Santiago gets the fish or not until tomorrow. Now, you can join us again for that, but right now it's time for us to go to our review time activity.
Wait for it. It's review time. 复习时间到喽。
So in today's article, we used superlatives. We're talking about the biggest fish and so on. So I'm going to ask some questions here. I'm going to see how many of the answers to these you know. So what is the biggest animal in the world?
The blue whale.
Yes, the blue whale is, in fact, it's not just the biggest right now, it's bigger than any other animal ever that has been in the world. So that's the biggest, but what is the fastest animal in the world?
It's not the tiger, not
it's
the sloth,
not a
right?
tiger, it's not a cheetah, which is, I think, the fastest land animal, but this doesn't move on land.
It's a bird.
It is indeed a bird. It's a falcon. It's a kind of the kind of birds that catch other like smaller birds or rabbits or stuff like that. It's one of those it's like a smaller eagle kind of thing. A falcon is the word. So, what is the tallest building in the world? Was Taipei 101? It's not anymore.
No, I know it's in Dubai.
Yes. Its name is the Burj Khalifa.
Burj Khalifa.
Yes, and it may not remain the tallest for long. People are always trying to buy bigger or build bigger. Do you know what is the biggest lake in the world?
Either the Caspian Sea or
Right.
Lake Superior between the US and Canada.
That's right. The Caspian Sea is in Asia. It's kind of in Central Asia. But they call it a sea, so it may not count as a lake. So maybe Lake Superior between the US and Canada is the biggest. Do you want to ask me one?
Okay. What is the longest river in the world?
Now we wrote about this in one of our other magazines. The longest river in the world is either the Amazon in South America or the Nile in Africa. And scientists can't really agree because they're not sure which bits of water count as part of the same overall river. Okay, go on, hit me with one more.
Okay. What is the biggest city in the world?
Biggest city in the world. Now, again, there are different ways to measure this. Do you count the center? Do you count all of the buildings? Do you count every area that's kind of all part of one thing? So there are different ways to measure it, but if you count the whole area of buildings, it's Tokyo, Japan. And if you've ever been there, you will know it's a ridiculously big city that kind of goes on forever. It takes you like hours to drive out from the middle to go somewhere else. Okay, well, that is the end of today's article. Join us again tomorrow to see if Santiago will catch that fish. See you then. Bye for now.
Bye.
The Old Man and the Sea. Warm-up question. What makes you feel sad?
On the 85th day, Santiago heads out to sea alone. He sails his boat far out into the ocean. He drops his fishing line deep in the water and waits. At noon, Santiago feels a strong pull on his fishing rod. He tries to bring the fish in, but he can't move it. The fish is very powerful, and it starts pulling his boat. He thinks to himself,
This must be the biggest marlin in the sea.
Santiago can't tie the fish to his boat because it will break. So he uses every muscle in his body to bring it in.
Word power!
Alone. Alone. I don't like going out alone at night. I don't feel safe. I don't like going out alone at night. I don't feel safe. Sail. Sail. Many people sail their boats from England to France for a vacation. Many people sail their boats from England to France for a vacation. Deep. Deep. Terry jumped deep into the swimming pool and touched the bottom. Terry jumped deep into the swimming pool and touched the bottom. Tie. Tie. You should tie your shoes, or you might fall over and hurt yourself. You should tie your shoes, or you might fall over and hurt yourself.
认识字汇。
Rod, powerful. Marlin, muscle.